Alright, welcome back to another video. Today's video, we got a little special, story time video. The story times do pretty decent. And this was a story time that just happened just like not too long ago, maybe like 2, 3 weekends ago. And I was really debating if I should even tell this story because she might see this. No disrespect or anything, but I had to, you know what I'm saying? So no disrespect, I'm just telling the story. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, saying, lovely girl. I'm saying I just, all right. So we got a little story time of how, this girl tried to get freaky on me, you know what I'm saying? So some people might not believe it, some people will, but this is a true story. So basically, I'm gonna tell it, you know what I'm saying? Like you in the story with me, all right? So basically, it's the weekend, right? It's the weekend. And, usually people have plans, go out, chill, whatever, go hang out with their, friends and shit like that. I ain't had shit planned, you know what I'm saying? I was just probably gonna hop on the game, get some dubs with the boys, right? Boy calls me, my boy. I haven't even got him in a video. We gotta do a video together. So I get, my boy calls me and he's like, yo, what you trying to do something? You trying to go out and shit like that. I'm like, hey, why not? Like, I ain't got nothing else planned, you know what I'm saying? Why not? He's like, yeah, we're going to go up to some places over here by this college and shit like that. And I was like, oh, dope. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get ready, shit like that. I just put on a little, little comfort, nothing too extravagant, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, is anybody else going? He's like, yeah. He's like, remember old dude from Menards? He was like, he used to work with. I was like, oh, yeah, he cool as hell. Yeah, I'm down. So it's like, it's 3 of us, right? So we meet up, you know what I'm saying, and then we start heading. It's like a 30-minute drive from where, where I stay at. So it's a little bit of drive to get there. You know what I'm saying? So we're driving while he's driving, you know what I'm saying? He's texting that girl and he's getting a call from a girl and shit like that. Basically saying, we going up there, if is there any places that we can, we can go, we can hang out, we can chill, have fun, whatever, right? And she's like, yeah, she's like, there's this place, you know what I'm saying, we can go to, you know what I'm saying, they can get into it, shit like that. She was like, oh, that's cool. And then my boy's like, and then he hangs up and shit like that. And my boy, he's like, yo, who's that? He was like, oh, it's some girl, I met, while I was out here, we hung out and whatever, all right? So he's like, oh, are they coming? He's like, yeah. He's like, actually, yeah, they coming. And he was like, is it just her? And he was like, no, I think it's gonna be her cousin and her friend is coming. It's like what a coincidence, 3 and 3. Okay, then before I say anything, they might see this video, but my boy, he is loyal. He has a girl. He didn't do anything. So just in case they see this video, I'm a W man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do anything. He's loyal. He just, he only likes you. All right. You know what I'm saying? I had to get that before, we were going, right? And it's, he's like, we're basically like, what's the first thing you do when you, like, you know girls are coming, you're like, yo, can we see a pic, right? I think we see a pic of one girl, a light-skinned girl. She like, but they didn't have no pics of the other girl, the cousin and her friend. And we're like, fuck it, we'll just see when they get in here. And then, but like, he's like, right off the rip, then my boy that's driving, he says, they might try to do something. They might try to get freaky. Like, that's what he says. He said it multiple times. They might try to do something. He was like, if they do, he's like, it's your decision if you want to. Not. He's like, I ain't stopping you. You know what I'm saying? If you want some punani, some kitty cat, go ahead. Basically, give me the green light to go ahead. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So like, he was like, nah, I'm good off that. And then my boy was like, he has a girl, so he was like, I'm good off that. And they both was like, if you want some, you can get some, we ain't stopping you. I'm like, we'll see. Maybe we don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. So, but at first, we didn't believe him. We was like, nah, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna try nothing. Me and my boy didn't believe him. He's like, we kept asking, you really think they gonna try something? He was like, yeah, they on that type of timing. And we're like, okay, I guess we'll see. So, we go to pick him up, right? And right off the rip, because I'm sitting in the back with them. So it's a 3-seater car. So my boys, they're sitting in the driver and the passenger, obviously. And I'm sitting in the middle row. So I'm like, I have to sit in the back with them, basically. And Right off the rip, they get in the car. One sits next to me, and then the two sit in the back. And right off the rip, we start driving off. I hear in the back, one of the girls says, "Oh, who is that in the back? He fine as hell." I'm like, I heard it, but like I'm trying to act like I didn't really hear it. So I'm just like looking out the window, like minding my own business, like I didn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, right out the rip, I really wasn't feeling it, so I should have just like really like been like, you know what I'm saying, like I wasn't really feeling the girl. No disrespect to the girl, like I said, but like I wasn't just feeling it. So I should have just like never let it on and really like kind of pursued it. But yeah, my decisions, you'll see what it gets me into. So we go, and we're chilling in the place. We get in shit like that, type shit like that. And fast forward, my boy that drove us there, he's like, one of the girls is feeling you. I'm like, oh shit, which one? He's like, oh, the one with the, the hair up, dyed and shit like that. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I was tripping because I wasn't really gonna do nothing. But, fuck this shit. It was kind of my friend's fault. They was kind of like egging it on and saying like they was like, he was like, the way they was driving us was like, oh, the girl that's feeling you doesn't have a drink, and he was like, I'm gonna buy a drink and I'm gonna give it to you and so you can give it to her. I'm like, okay, I guess. And, it's like some gentleman Riz type shit. You know what I'm saying? Just being nice. You know what I'm saying? And we go and I give it to her, right? And I'm like, okay, she says thank you, shit like that. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know what? Let me play a little bit game. I've never let's go. Done this. I was like, let me just ask for the snap. So I go and I'm like, yo, can I get you a snap? And I'm like, here, hold that. So I just get the snap, and I was like, okay, maybe it's done. I get a snap. It's over with. Like, we can move on. I never talk to this girl again, right? No.
But wait, there's more.
So basically, basically, the girl, one of her friends comes up to me and is like, yo, she's feeling you. She's waiting for you to make a move, shit like that. And I was like, okay. I'm like, I was like, okay, I listened, but I wasn't really gonna do anything because I wasn't really trying to pursue. But then my boy over here was like, yo, we need to put them on. I'm like, oh my, hell no. The boy kept it going. But I also should have been like, I ain't really feeling it. It was low-key kind of, 50-50. I should have just been like, I don't, I ain't feeling it. I'm good, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just, doing all this. So basically, her friend comes up to me again. It's like, all you gotta do, like, when you're, like, dancing, shit like that, you just gotta basically just grab her by the hand or grab her by the hips or something and just start grinding on her. I'm like, oh, hell no. And it's coming, like, okay, so fast forward, it's coming close to the night, right? And they're playing, like, the last, like couple songs. And I see them, they start dancing, you know what I'm saying? But they start getting closer to me. Like, she's backing up into me. I'm like, ah, shit. So I wasn't trying to be rude. And I was just like, you know what? Hug it. So I grabbed her by the waist and I'm just like, oh, yeah. Like, start, like, doing that shit. And I'm like, oh, damn. And luckily, it was the last song. So I was like, oh, shit. Okay, then, so we did, right? And wait, there's more. There's more. And so we get in the car. But before we get in the car, one of the girls that's feeling the boy that drove us there was like, yo, can I sit in the front with him? And then my boy that I came with sits in the middle, and me and the girl that's feeling me sits in the back. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, I guess, you know what I'm saying? And so we's in the back, right? And I'm not really trying to make conversation or anything. I'm just chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully nothing happens, right? But then she says, put your leg out. Bro, we can't do nothing freaky as hell because there's hella people in this car and they keep looking back here. There's nothing we can do. You know what I'm saying? So she's just like, oh, just put your leg out. So I'm just like, okay, okay. I just put my leg out like this. You know what I'm saying? And she just puts her legs on top of me. I'm like, okay. Oh, I was like, because we can't do nothing. Everybody just keeps looking back here. You know what I'm saying? So what possibly can we do? Right? So we're driving. We're taking them home. And they're basically like hinting us like, you trying to come back, you know, in the place with us, because they're like, oh, what you yo, they're like, you know, they hit us with that line with like, oh, what y'all finna do, or what y'all about to get into, you know, shit like that. And he's like, nah, we just make up the excuse like, oh, we gotta work, shit like that, we gotta go home, stuff like that. That was that. We talk about it. We're getting home, you know, shit like that.
But wait, there's more.
And I get home, right? And then I get home, I start watching YouTube, and I get a text. It's from the girl. It reads like, "Oh, you trying to come back up here?" I'm like, "Oh, hell no!" And right after that, she calls me. Bruh. I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm hoping she's not one of these crazy girls that keeps like calling and like texting like shit like that. I'm like, bro. I'm like, so I just let it ring. I don't even like hang up, nothing. I just let it ring. And then I call my boy. I'm like, yo, she's texting and calling me, bruh. I'm like, yo, she's texting and calling me, bruh. I'm like, he's like, did you answer anything or what it's saying? I was like, yo, she wants me to come back up there and shit like that. He was basically saying, he knows because the other girls, I think one of the other girls was texting him to come, was texting him if all of us could come back up there, like to the thing. And I'm like, oh hell no. And I was like, I tell him I didn't answer. I just let it ring, and I just left there unseen. I mean, undelivered. I didn't even answer it. And he was like, oh hell no. He was like, yeah, cause I was like, she's over here saying like chewing man's up because she was basically saying, oh, like she was getting mad. She was getting pissed. I was like, she was basically saying like, oh, like you have ugly friends and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, just because we didn't want to, you know, lay some pipe down. What the fuck? So yeah, that was like, that was that weekend. I don't know, what would you guys do in this situation? Would you pursue it? Like, would you pursue a solid 3? Okay. I'm just playing. But like, I'm really not. But like, I'm not being disrespectful. She's probably gonna see this video. Fuck it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Or like, would you go along with it? You know what I'm saying? I feel like you just have to be a desperate motherfucker to want to hit it like, you know, like a solid 3 or something. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. That's, hey, I ain't judging. You know what I'm saying? You do you, brother. But let me know comment down below what would you do in that situation. Make sure to like and subscribe, and hope you guys enjoyed the little story time, the little video. And that's the end of today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.